All right, so we are here again and we're having some coffee. This is probably like my second, close to third cup, but it's all good. Um, all right, so so today, gosh, it's not as late as I thought it was, but just getting set up here. So how are you? I'm just playing. But no, really, I hope that wherever you are, your day is awesome. So today is good. So life, I think we're at a good place. I don't know what's happening like in the stars, but it seems like a lot of good things are like, not coming to a close. I think, but overall, like this year, a lot of things have been learned, and there's been a lot of like spiritual growth, you know. Um, Sorry, I had to make sure that I harness my hair sometimes. It was up in this bun, and I don't think I lose like a lot of hair, but the thing is, it's the length of my hair that is like the issue. You can kind of see. And then I have a little ponytail situation. Oh, that's good. Sometimes like my neck needs to be refreshed from my hair. But and a good combing. I love combing my hair. I don't know. Something I heard somewhere about 100 strokes. I think it was in Crouching Tiger. It was something like that. And they mentioned like 100 strokes of brushing, and I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. But anyway, so the semester has finally ended. I feel like I feel lighter for sure. Um, let's see if I can. Maybe that's better. I think that's better. I think I have a good side and like a not good side. I'm not sure which one is which though. I know my face is like asymmetrical. I think you can see that now. You see how like this goes this way. Mhm. Yeah, like cuz when I wear glasses, they never sit right. I don't know if my ears are two different heights, but my face is asymmetrical. And I know with the look nowadays, it's all about like super symmetry. At least here, like I heard that was the way in other places, but I know here nowadays people are really going for like that. But I don't know. I can't. But I do have my good side. I don't know what side. I think this side is better than this one. Anyway, I'm over here drinking coffee and rambling. But today, um, I'm not working on anything, really. Like, I'm gonna do some work. But like not having schoolwork is like a completely different feeling, you know? Um, so yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. I think Everything that I had in mind to talk about has come full circle. What is there that's new? I mean, I guess like going into like the new year, I'm I feel like things are coming full circle. I've heard that they're coming full circle cosmically, like when it comes to like the planets and stuff. So I'm curious to see how that, is gonna turn out. I can already see it coming into progress, like, or I can already see it like starting now, because it seems like a lot of things at the end of this year have gotten finalized, and like I feel like I've learned about a lot of things that I wanted to learn about, you know. Um, I didn't do so hot in school, at least not as hot as I wanted to, but I think the semester was still successful. Um, as an artist, I just have I have like this picture in mind when I do something, how I want it to be. But I'm really looking forward to the future because, um, well, let's just talk about what I have now. Like, I've been really enjoying digital painting. I think because I've been missing like oil paints, I've been working in gouache. Like, gouache has been like not my favorite thing to work with. But I think I learned enough about it. I think part of it was like the learning curve. Like, I'd never used it before this semester. But by the end, I had learned my way of, dealing with it. And in the coursework, especially in the beginning, they kind of like introduce the medium to you, and they show you how to do things, but they execute it like, you know, I wouldn't say like their way, like the school way, but they kind of give you like they teach you how to use the medium. Um, I usually work in oil paints. How I got started in oil paints, I think I just saw finished products that were in oil, and I thought, okay, um, I really like the way that looks, so that's what I'm going to use. And I think, I used it in school, but I had been painting before that, and so like I think most of it was self-taught. But then I would like look for information places of like how to use different solvents and things like that. And when I got to having like a class with an instructor and I was using oil, she didn't really teach me how to use the paint. She more so taught me um, new ways to paint, like new perspectives. Like, and she didn't go too much in depth. She tried to, you know, kind of help me along in like a subtle kind of way. But when it came to like this medium, it was like, or this class, it was more like, this is how you do it, and this is the consistency that you want. And I had been doing that, you know, and you have to meet like a certain criteria. Like, you have to do things to like a certain finished product, and that's kind of working backwards for me, but like in a good way, because it's like going back to fundamentals, whereas as an artist that's been arting for a while, you can manipulate mediums because you're used to creating work. What I noticed is that in my class, even though it was graduate level, you had people who were in other disciplines who weren't going into, like, my concentration is drawing and painting. I don't think there was another drawing and painting major in my class or concentration person in my class. I think most of the other people were in like other disciplines, like digital something, like either digital, like when it comes to like TV and video, or digital graphics, animation, teaching, because that's what happens like with an MFA is like you need an MFA versus an MA to be able to go and teach. So I'm going for an MFA because it has more classes that are like the kinds that I like taking. So what I've noticed is that some people in the class, they I think they had a good approach or a good time like following the instructions, and I had a hard time following the instructions. Like, you know, one of my professors, especially in this class, you know, we kind of like butted heads. We didn't really butt heads because, you know, we were polite to each other. She just didn't have my kind of style of communication. So, but that's fine. That's also like what you sign up for, like even though like that working backwards and like going for the fundamentals, you know, listening to a professor or a teacher, an instructor, like is part of like what you sign up for. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Like, I don't mind because I like that the coursework is like laid out for me, you know? So when it comes to like a person being involved, it doesn't, it's just something I deal with. One thing that I guess that I'm not too hot about is like kind of like sharing my process with the class. I'm not really used to showing my work like a whole lot, and in the class like you kind of have to show your midway point, and it becomes like a public thing, and I'm not really into that. So I don't know. I don't know. I have my own idea of what my own personal approach would be, or what another alternative approach could be. But I also think that there's something about like getting a degree. It's like a little ribbon for me. Like, it's not important, I guess. I don't know if this is hypocritical or not, but it's not important for like another person to like have a degree. But when it comes to me, it's like a sense of like accomplishment. And I think that there is like this snobby, like I have this. With a bachelor's, excuse me, I don't really feel that because maybe because there's so many people who have bachelor's degrees. But I think that there is like something that makes me feel like better about having it versus not having it. It's like my own kind of sense of accomplishment. But part of me is like, you know, if you feel like going to school, then, you know, then that's kind of what you like to do, right? I feel like some people would prefer not to, or don't have to, or that's not their thing. And then there's others who kind of like that. But maybe there's a new perspective that I need to consider. Maybe it's the total like independent, not independent, but like independent study approach. Like one person teaching one person, and one person teaching the other person, and learning. But I think even with that, like, I feel like the more that I'm taught by outside sources, the more I feel like I'm bringing to the table. Not to be using cliche catchphrases, but like, I feel like it's my little suitcase, and I'm like, or my little, mental Rolodex, and I'm like, all right, the more I've learned, the more I can file away, and the more I have to offer, right? Like, I guess I could study things just in passing, but classes tend to, I don't know. I guess they're not really teaching me something I haven't run into before. I think it was just like the amount of work, you know? Or the necessity, like, to work faster. I don't like working faster, but in these classes, like, I was forced to, which is cool, because, I mean, it's not my style as like an artist, sometimes I do take too long on things, or what is too long is really what my approach is. So having to work faster was like a challenge. Learning, there's things that I learned, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't learn on my own. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe an independent study approach is the one that I need to take in my career from now on, and not be so into labels. It's a weird thing. I never considered it up to this point. I just looked at it like I like trophies and ribbons. Ribbons I'm talking about like from like running track and being an athlete, in high school and a little bit in college, Like, I was watching this thing about people hiking up this mountain, right? And it was in Japan, and they got a stamp for completing the hike. And I was like, yeah, that would be awesome. Like, the stamp meant something. Like, it made it completely different than just going up the mountain and coming down. Like, I was like, yeah, man, that's cool. So it's like I have that thing in me, like, where, like, I guess like a physical representation of like accomplishing something that has like some sort of definition to it. I think I have that, and like that's like kind of like the difference between, someone like me and someone who's like, fuck it, I don't need that shit. And that's totally cool. And I like that. I think I like that even more than how my approach is, like, or what I go for. But maybe, like, that's part of my leaving behind in 2019 is like moving forward into, a mental space of like, there doesn't need to be any, definition for like anything like that. That the accomplishment just is what it is. So with that, I'm gonna go because that seems to be pretty profound. So, but I will talk to you the next time. Bye.